So I'm constantly printing things, you know, writing programs and getting them out into print to see what happens, you know, what kind of things happen with ink on paper that maybe don't happen on the screen. You know, and do I draw on top of this, or does this inspire a drawing that I do? All of this is just exercises in trying new things. Now, for this this print, this was a workshop that I did last year in Aspen, Colorado, and we wrote these programs to actually rip silkscreens. And we took these generated prints that we did, ripped them to silkscreen, and then actually pulled silkscreens of these programs that we wrote. You know, and there's something really magical in doing this, in using digital tools in this analog process. I mean, you can see on the left, one of the pieces got too much ink, and the guy looked at me when that happened, and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man." And I'm like, "No, random's cool. We love that." Too much black came through, so you get these things that wouldn't occur in the computer. Now, I'm looking at this, and hopefully you're thinking what I'm thinking. Those are fucking skateboards. So I ended up taking those and putting them into skateboards. And right now I'm in the process of actually hand drawing each of these. It's called the Tie 5. And I'm using this randomly generated composition to inform how I actually draw it on the skateboard. So I'm actually looking at it on screen and trying to grid out and redraw this exact composition on the skateboard. Much like I'm doing the same thing with the mural, using a randomly generated composition, but then freehanding it so that the mistakes happen, right? And so this kind of work, you know, gets back into my love of skateboarding, right? Because I love skateboarding, so I want to make skateboards. So I said, well, okay, then fucking make skateboards. And that's what I did. So I've ordered a bunch of blank boards, and they come varnished, so I have to sand them. And I've been trying these tests on paper, right? So this is me using digital tools, right? Using a Wacom tablet. I'm using processing. I'll talk about this a little bit later. Using processing to randomly generate these compositions, and then trying to redraw what gets generated on paper so that I get the accidents. And with this is a whole new set of tools, like this fucking thing. Look at the bottom left. It's called Time Saver. Time Saver! Isn't that hilarious? My God, the circle is taking forever! I wish I had a time saver! My God, I love that! Oh, it's hilarious. Right? So, I'm doing a series of skulls right now, and these skulls, you know, again, it's like I'm using this sort of like random generation to sort of inform the pattern that happens on the inside, right? And this shit's bananas. Like I don't know how to do this. So I like this hybrid between digital and analog technologies, right? And I've talked about this like a million times. You know, my first computer was a Commodore 64. Yeah. Anyway, Commodore 64? Yeah. It sucked. It sucked. It was like 19.